Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto. Awaken Alucard's godly abilities. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also go ahead and share the brand new episode of What If Naruto was sent to a parallel multiverse over on Anime King 3. And enjoy that guys. And remember, if anyone this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and check out the link in the description for Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3. Yes, I did have 3 channels, Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day, and I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Rewrite the Past over Anime King 2. Yes, the final episode. So go ahead and enjoy that, guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that button, and also turn on the bell notifications to stay posted to see exactly when I post. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode start the intro. So the last part we left off, the group went through the first phase of the exam as they passed. And just like that, they continued on with the second, as Uncle was the proctor for this. As all of them made their way in the forest of death, arriving there, as Naruto flipped a coin, as it landed on his head as he slaughtered, the Rain team and Sakura asked him what kind of monster he was, to judge someone's life on a simple flip of a coin, as he didn't really care what she said though. As a massive gust slammed into them, as they were blown away except for Naruto. As he stood there, it was none other than Orochimaru. As Orochimaru attacked the blonde, Orochimaru attacked him with everything that he got as he realized the blonde could not be killed. Decapitation did not work. Plunging a sword right through his heart, the Kusanagi blade, with virus coursing through it, did not work. As Orochimaru could not run either as the blonde was faster, he had to summon the undead. That was used Nado Tensei, as Naruto found it rather amusing as he defeated the first and the second, as Orochimaru had to resort to his Hydra form as he turned into a massive 8-headed snake as panic started to arise in the village. As Naruto slaughtered him too. Yes, he took down Orochimaru and killed him. Zetsu was watching the scene from a far distance as he couldn't believe what he was seeing. He reported back to the Akatsuki as they were shocked by that. They did not know that Kyuubi Jinchuriki was so strong, as this just changed up things a lot. As Sakura and Sasuke came looking for Naruto, as they were attacked by the Stone team. As Naruto arrived, luckily, his coin landed on Tails, as he let them be, but he knocked Dosu and Zaku out, as he told Kin to take them and run, which he did gratefully. Afterwards, the group headed towards the tower. Haruka was startled when he saw Naruto pull out so much scrolls, as he wondered where the hell the blonde get those from. But Naruto seemed to not be ready to elaborate. Hiruzen was not worried, after he knew what Naruto was capable of. If Orochimaru really showed himself in the forest of death, he would have a hard time leaving with Naruto there. As the envoy still went out there though, but they found nothing. They found the area decimated, but there was no trace of him. So with that out of the way, the preliminaries finally came into view, as the matches started to start up. Individuals went down there as they fought after individuals, as Kakashi and Naruto got into a heated argument. Kakashi outright attacked Naruto with his lightning blade, as Naruto took his arm off for that. As Kakashi collapsed on the ground as the medics took him off, the group was shocked and the senses couldn't believe what they were seeing, as Kakashi just tried to kill Naruto, and Naruto removed his arm. Well, there was two things Naruto took from him now, his eye and his arm. As they were talking, and Sakura went and insulted Victoria, as she said something bad about Naruto's girlfriend, as Naruto was gonna murder her. And to make things worse, they were called down to fight, as Naruto brutalized her. He beat her so badly, and he flicked something in her mouth, as her arm, he ripped it off, as a tree root started to grow in her throat, as it started to explode out of her body. He was not joking, he was gonna kill her. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought. You guys can switch across the playthrough of yourself, and also guys, stay tuned for the rest of what is coming your way, and I hope you enjoy each and every one of them. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into this. Sir, our diagnostic jutsus aren't working. One of the medics called as they looked over Sakura. As the unit leader spoke, then, just focus on her visible injuries until we get her to the hospital. As lower ranking medics nodded, but she started to convulse and cough, as she released a blood-curdling scream, as a tree branch erupted from her mouth, silencing her. As everyone in the room was shocked, but the branch did not stop growing. It started to push out from every part of her body that they could, including the gaping hole that once held her arm after Naruto ripped it off. As soon as the branch stopped growing, their leaves opened up to reveal that the tree was indeed a sakura tree with the pink flowers. Well, said Naruto, I think that's an improvement. That was most unyouthful, said Guy. Well, I'm not really a very youthful individual, said Naruto, as the medics had to remove the human garden from the arena. As the next match was announced after a while, Neji versus Hinata. Ah, so Neji will win, said Naruto. You don't know that, Kurenai said. On the contrary, Kurenai-san, Hinata's skills don't compare to Neji's at all, and she's too kind to use that seal to put him in so much pain. The woman narrowed her eyes in anger at him underestimating Hinata like that, as Naruto glanced towards her. By the way, if you're trying to scare me with that killer intent, I've met squirrels scarier than that. Look here, you may not realize it, but Hinata is strong, she said. No, she's not. She lacked the drive and the coldness to kill. She should have never become a ninja in the first place, said Naruto, as Naruto did not care about her opinion. As the two were making their way down the arena, Neji was calm and collected. Hinata was a nervous wreck that just had her world shattered after seeing this person that claimed to be Naruto. Naruto was the one person that was always happy, kind, determined. The one person that can take everything the village threw at him and kept on smiling no matter what. This thing, this cruel, cold, corrupted monster in front of her, and not to mention that thing was calling her worthless. Naruto would never do something like that. It was just her father and her family saw her. That thing was not Naruto. No way that was Naruto. You should forfeit, Hinata-sama. Even him realized that you're worthless. Give up immediately before I'm forced to hurt you, said Neji. His tone was rather cold. No, stand there and don't forfeit. It would be rather entertaining to see him massacre you. The amused voice of the blonde came. Hinata was in tears. I forfeit, she said, as she didn't have the drive to go on. As Hayate called, winner, he coughed. Neji Hyuga. See, as I said, Neji won, said Naruto with a smirk. Only because of you, Kiba turned towards Naruto with that glare. She admired you, hell, she practically worshipped you. And you just had to go and put her down like that, you bastard. Exactly, she admired the old me. How retarded do you have to be to admire the dead lass? The blonde asked casually, causing Kiba to freeze in thought. You didn't have to be such an asshole though, the Inuzaka ear finally said. Would you prefer her getting hospitalized because she was stupid enough to actually fight Neji? Besides, I've changed too much for her to keep on admiring me. The sooner she realized that, the sooner she can move on. Several other fights went off. Shikamaru versus Kane with Shikamaru winning. Dosu versus Choji with Dosu winning. Lee and Gar a rather brutal fight as Gar came out on top. Temari versus Samui. Temari neutralized Samui lightning techniques with her wind technique, seeing that lightning was stronger than wind. Tenten versus Karu. Tenten won as she kept her distance away from Karui, who was a Kinjutsu user. Shino versus Ino. Shino easily won by draining her chakra. Amoy versus Gonkru. Amoy win with a collaboration of skill and outsmarting the puppet user. Now for the last fight, as Naruto had picked the fight twice, seeing that there was an odd number of them, as it was Naruto versus Zaku. Well, looks like I'm up again, the blonde said as he made his way calmly down to the arena floor. Once there, he was greeted by the ice-cold glare coming from his opponent. You claim that you killed Orochimaru-sama, Zaku said in a cold tone. Indeed I did. Tell me, do you want to see the corpse? As Naruto pulled a single scroll, as he unsealed the body right there. Not many expected to see the decapitated body of Orochimaru. They thought that it was a poor attempt of scaring his opponent, but it was real. As many of them start to seriously question the blonde's power. If he could act so nonchalant about killing a legendary ninja, Then what kind of power did the blonde have? Those who and King could not believe their eyes. Their master. The legendary Sannin was lying in the arena. Dead. It was not something that their brain and their mind could process at the moment. But that meant the invasion that he was planning was no off because he was dead. Konoha was too powerful to stand against. They were no more than lackeys. They didn't have a drive to be in charge. They needed a master. They needed a leader. Who were they supposed to follow now? As they looked towards the blonde down there, he was strong. The strongest. That was their idealism. As Orochimaru had been the boss because he was the strongest, cunning, smart, and powerful. And now this blonde took his place. Zaku on the other hand, he was furious. "I'll kill you," he says, he extended both of his hands towards the vampire. Blasts of hair slam into Naruto, tearing his skin up as Naruto's head was blown back. As he simply chuckled. Then, "You're gonna have to try harder than that," he says. He pulled his body up. He pulled out a coin out of his pocket. As many were confused by that, why weren't they fighting? As he flipped it up in the air. As everyone watches the coin flip several times. "Heads you live, tail you die. I'm feeling generous," said Naruto. "And I like your attitude. Quick, ready to kill." As Naruto caught it and slammed it down. Tails. Sorry, but you're dead." As Naruto appeared in front of him in a second, he grabbed both of Zaku's arms and ripped. He literally tore them out of his socket. As Zaku dropped down to the ground, unable to clutch onto anything, as he screamed out for bloody murder. As Naruto kicked his head right off. "Well, that was boring," said Naruto. Winner, Naruto Namikaze. The proctor and many others were shocked at the brutal way that he took out his opponents, and many that knew him before this couldn't believe what they were seeing. Soon everyone was back in the middle of the room, waiting for their instructions for the next round. As Uncle moved around past out a box as each of them pick a number. As Naruto raised his hand, 1. 7, said Gaara. 3, said Amoy. 2, Sasuke said, with a hint of anger in his tone. "So, the Uchiha is a number 2 in more ways than 1, said Naruto with a dark laugh. As some of the less mature individuals laughed at that as well, as Sasuke just glared at him. 5, Shino said. 9, said Dosu. 4, Shikamaru said. 8, said Temari. 6, Tenten said. 10, said Neji. As Uncle grabbed the chalkboard as she started to write out all the names. The first match will be Naruto Namikaze versus Uchiha Sasuke. Second match will be Amoy versus Shikamaru. Third, Shino versus Tenten. Fourth, Gaara versus Temari. Fifth, Dosu versus Neji. Now that you know the matchup, you have 1 month to the next portion of the exams. Feel free to use this time to improve your skills and prepare for your opponents. You're all dismissed, Harrison said, as they all filed out except for the Hokage and Naruto. I take it that you decide to keep my old student's sword, Harrison said. Indeed. The Kusanagi should not be used as a normal sword. Its true strength in lies with the ability to extend and use at incredible speeds. The Snake Sani did not take full advantage of that ability, said Naruto. Naruto, said Harrison. Is there anything that you're not telling me? Well, Danzo had a facility that stored many blood samples from all over the world, including the former Hokages. Why didn't you tell me? Harrison asked. I thought it was obvious. How could Danzo do any work without any material? I never thought of that. Naruto, did you really kill people because of a coin toss? Yes, though it was strange. The coin never landed on head, said Naruto. May I see the coin that you use? Naruto shrugged as he gave the coin to Harrison. The old man looked it over. Naruto, you do realize that both the sides are tail, right? As both men looked at each other. As Naruto raised the eyebrow. A red coin? Huh. I guess Figgy-chan must have snuck it in before I left. Damn, I was actually hoping to let Nephew live if they had got it right. But it's too late now. Sorry, old man, said Naruto. Naruto, who's Vicky? Oh, the Kyuubi, said Naruto. As Harrison looked at him. What? Said Naruto. She's pretty nice once you get to know her. You know what? I give up, Harrison said. When these exams are over, I'm retiring. Well, don't expect me to take over. I absorbed the blood of 3 former Hokages, and I understand what the job is like now. So there is no way in hell I'm taking that. As Naruto burst into a colony of bats. As Harrison stood there. Shit. Time skip. Walking through the forest of death. Hinata Hyuga was unable to comprehend what just happened. Naruto-kun, why won't anyone realize that that monster is not you? You were the strongest person I knew. Even with the entire village against you, you refuse to give up. You try your hardest. It doesn't matter what they said or what they did. You always never give up. It doesn't matter what happened. Why can't anyone see that that hateful monster is not you? Why won't they realize it, she thought? As she was too occupied in her thoughts. As the ground gave way underneath her. As she fell as her head hit a rock. As she went into blissful unconsciousness. 2 days later, Harrison was not having a good day at all, as he was forced to endure the council complaints about the matchup between Naruto and Sasuke and the fact that Naruto actually killed one of the counselor's daughter. Hokage-sama, I demand justice, Haruna shouted, as she was quieter due to the sudden loss of her daughter. Counselor Haruno, your daughter signed a waiver. It explicitly states that the chance of dying in the exam is high. But she still signed the waiver and she continued on with the exam. Harrison says he tried to quell the flames that were currently burning high. Who cares about your daughter, a random civilian, it said, as she glared at the man with nothing but hate. That demon is supposedly fighting Uchiha-sama in the first round. Yes, we cannot let that monster fight Uchiha-sama. Silence, Harrison said, as he had enough of their talk. The finals have already been decided and it will not be changed. Is that understood? But Hokage-sama, I said it will not be changed at his final, he said, as he was done talking. He then turned towards Hayashi. How is the search going, Hayashi, he said. As Hayashi sighed, the man always had this stern look about him, but you could see that he was troubled a bit. We searched everywhere, and we weren't able to find her, the man said. The despair in his voice was there. Are you certain you don't want my help to try and find her? At this point, I doubt it would make a difference. The smell would have left the ear by now. And I've already asked the Abermi teammate if he had placed a bug on her, but he hadn't. Why did this have to happen now? As he clenched his fists. I see. I'm sorry, Hiruzen said. As Hinata was lost, no one could find her. Deep under Konoha, your surveillance on Orochimaru was less than satisfactory, said Danzo. Forgive me, Danzo-sama. I will not fail you again. You are lucky that Orochimaru has been confirmed dead, right here in Konoha. Because of these circumstances, I'm assigning you a new mission. You are to assist Fu and Torun to end the civil war in Kiri. Dismiss. Yes, Danzo-sama. As he vanished quickly. Things are going better than anticipated. Especially once my conquest of the sun is over. Danzo thought to himself, as he burst into bats and flew away. Meanwhile, Ino was deep in thought, as she tended to her parents' flower shop. She cannot believe what happened to Sakura. Then again, they did end their friendship because over a boy, but still, she was friends with her once. Was it perhaps you thought you were still friends? As she was broken out of her thoughts as she saw someone stand at the counter with a single black rose in his hand. Guess I must have been thinking out loud. No, I can read minds. You almost had me going there for a minute. Who said I was joking? Ino's eyes went wide as she heard the voice in her head. Naruto, did you somehow steal our clan techniques? No, said Naruto. It isn't a technique, it's an ingrained ability. And your dad already knows, said Naruto. So, he can confirm that I had not been stealing your techniques. But, I'm surprised though, that you don't hate me for killing Sakura. Well, I guess I can't be that angry at you, said Ino. She said out of her own mouth she tried to kill you before, and you did not hide your resentment against her. Then she went and insulted Victoria-san, when she didn't even know her, after what she tried to do to you. I don't know how she turned out this way, but I guess I can't hate you for that. And you are not scared of me, said Naruto, because you realize I will not do you a single thing as long as you're not my enemy. Well, if you don't mind, I would like to purchase this flower, he said. Oh, of course, he said. So, getting that for Victoria-san? Yes, the black rose is a beautiful flower. Often thought of having some link to death. But then again, some people think it represents pure love. It is amazing how some people are opposite in their opinions, and yet can be the same at some times. And what do you think? Asked Ino. I think it's a beautiful flower, nothing less, nothing more. As he placed money on the counter, keep the change. Thinking of it as a tip for the pleasant conversation, he said, as he left the establishment. He may be completely different, but if you look really close, There is still some of the old Naruto in there, she thought to herself. As Naruto made his way, he wondered why were those two following him. As Naruto turned off into an alleyway, as the two came out, "What do you want? Make it quick. I don't want this flower to die before I get home," said Naruto, as he looked towards the two sound ninjas. "Well, it can wait," said Dosu, but the girl took over. "What we want to say is that you kill Orochimaru-sama, who always taught us to follow the strongest," Kin said as she started getting a bit nervous at the way the blonde was just focused on her. "So, you want me to be your leader?" As the both of them nodded. "Go and tell Hokage. He will make you my retainer," said the blonde. "Yes, Naruto-sama," they said as they made their way off. Well, that was unusual. Well, some people just need to be told what to do. As he made his way. Meanwhile, Hokage's tower. "What do you mean you're not gonna let me train my own godson?" A man with white spiky hair said, with a conjure for oil on his headband, as he was talking to Hokage. "I'm sorry, Jiraiya, but I'm not sure if Naruto would decide to kill you if he meets you." "Come on, old man. Do you really think that he can kill me?" Jiraiya said. "You need to understand, Jiraiya, in the forest of death, Naruto killed Orochimaru. He has this ability to absorb a person's strength, memories, skills, everything about them. Hell, he actually admits to absorb their souls, and he does this by drinking their blood. And he managed to gain access to Danzo, Forbidden, Research Ability Lab, and inside was many blood samples from a lot of Kage 11 ninjas. And Naruto possessed all of them plus all the power of the Kyuubi." Jiraiya was startled as the man was speechless. Plus he's immortal. What? He's immortal to a certain extent. However, his skills are certainly high enough that you can only hit him if he lets you. That is the reason I cannot let you see him. "But I want to see him," said Jiraiya. "He will kill you. And Jiraiya, we need your spine to work, and I don't want you to die." "Why then? If he's as strong as you say he is, then why do you even need my spine to work in the first place after all? There should be no one to be able to touch him if he can do what he can do." "Well, I don't exactly know where his loyalty lies." "What?" "You see, when he came back from his first C rank, he changed, unfortunately. His change has brought us his contempt for the human species, and I'm not so certain what he will do most of the times." Just as Jiraiya was about to say something, was a knock on the door. "I'm gonna go see him anyway," said Jiraiya as he jumped through the window. Harrison sighed. He knew that Jiraiya would do something like that. He just really hoped that Naruto did not have so much grudge against him to actually kill him. As Harrison told people to come in, as he saw the two sound shinobis, he sighed. Already known where this was going. "If you want me to punish Naruto for killing your teammate, the answer is a no. Actually, that's not why we're here. Since our village leader was killed by him, we've decided to follow him instead. And his first order to us was to come here and tell you that we are to become his retainers." "Why?" Harrison said. "Because Orochimaru-sama always taught us to follow the strongest, and Naruto-sama is the strongest," said Kin. As Harrison blinked as he looked towards the two kids in front of him, it seems like Orochimaru had placed them in this mindset where they had no way to be a leader by themselves. "You do realize that being retainers make you nothing more than voluntary slave, right?" Harrison asked to make sure they knew what they were getting themselves into. "Working under Orochimaru-sama wasn't much different, but I doubt we'll risk becoming experiments with Naruto-sama," said Dosu. Harrison's eyes gave him to form as he made an envoy lead them towards the Konoha registration office where they will be conducted into Namikaze clan as Naruto retainers. Time skip. Jiraiya was scared. The only thing that scared him back then was Natty when he was caught peeping on her. But now he was more than, worse than that scared. He had immediately come to see his godson, but he had been distracted when he noticed the flesh in the second store window. So being the super pervert that he was, he decided to check it out. As he arrived to see that it was his godson, screwing some little redhead. As he had been proud of his godson, but he then saw her ears and her 9 red tails. Well, he was shocked. Now Jiraiya was no coward in any sense, but he had seen the Kyuubi's power, and it was destructive. Now to find out that it was released, and perhaps even influencing his godson to take the village, was a problem. As Jiraiya was now standing by himself as he didn't know what to do. As he wondered, what should he do? As he could not seal up with the fox like that. And where would he put it back in his godson? If he brought it out once, couldn't he do it again? As Jiraiya was just confused. Hello, Godfather. Jiraiya jumped away. As he turned to see the boy and the woman, she no longer had fox ears or the tails. I hope you're not planning to use what you just saw as inspiration. Naruto, don't listen to anything that she says. If Naruto can listen to everything that I said, you'll have your balls ripped off and fed to a fish by now, said Victoria. What? Said Jiraiya. You heard me, she said. He turned his head back towards his godson, confused. Naruto, you do know that he's the demon that nearly destroyed Konoha, right? On the day that you were born. Hey, that wasn't my fault. I actually liked Konoha before they started to abuse Naruto-kun. Sure. Then why did you attack it, Jiraiya asked. Stupid Sharingan, she said under her breath. What? I was being controlled by one of those damn Sharingan users. So your claim is an Uchiha did it? Yes, she said. As Jiraiya looked at Naruto and then back towards Victoria, as the both of them gave him a blank look. Does the Hokage know about this? That depends on what you're asking. If you mean about the Uchiha using her all those years ago, yes. If you mean about her being free right now, I don't really know, said Naruto. Jiraiya was looking at the blonde. Naruto, how did you know who I was? I can read minds, said Naruto in his head. Oh, you are different, Jiraiya said. Sarutobi-sensei said that he would kill me if we ever met. Yeah, he probably thought I would, said Naruto. So, you don't want to? Said Jiraiya. It's not like you want to be killed or anything, but the blonde was just too calm and he was a bit worried. Usually when you kept in all of your emotions and repress yourself, you usually lashed out at wrong times and end up killing innocent people. I know that it's not your fault, said Naruto. There were several things that influenced your thoughts. One, you were grieving. The second, you had obligation to this village that forced you to stay out of the village. And the other one, if you had taken me with you, I would have been at risk. So really, you didn't have much choice, said Naruto. But if you put mine and Victoria-chan activities in your book, I'll kill you, said Naruto. Wait, who's... As Jiraiya looked towards the Kyuubi, you're telling me that the famous Kyuubi is called Vicky? Yep, both of them said. And I thought I've seen it all, Jiraiya said. So, how about I show you a thing or two for this month, seeing that you're in the finals of the exam? Like what? How about this, Jiraiya said, as he created a massive Rasengan. As Naruto shrugged it off. Already know it, mastered it, and he already improved it. As Naruto held his hand above his head, the Rasengan formed. Jiraiya watched with interest as the thing started to twist and turn into a massive, spinning gig as 4 wing blades were around it. Jiraiya was shocked to his core. Both he and his student failed to do what Naruto just did, combine their affinity with the Rasengan. I can also use the other 4 elements, but they aren't as destructive as wings, said Naruto. As he disobeyed the technique. Okay, said Jiraiya, still in absolute shock. How about I let you sign the contract for the toads? I can summon them. And snakes, monkeys, dogs, hawks, turtles, and salamanders. How? Said Jiraiya. Other people blood. As the both of them looked at each other. What? By drinking other people's blood, said Naruto. Jiraiya sighed. I give up. Oh, how about Senjutsu? What's that? Jiraiya pumped both fists in the air. Thank Kami, I can teach him something. Until he felt something dripping down his face. As he wiped it. Blood? As he saw Naruto lick the kunai. Ah, so Senjutsu is gathering natural atmosphere energy and converting it into physical strength and chakra-based techniques. Damn it, said Jiraiya. I wanted to teach you something. As he realized the blonde cut him and took his blood. Tough, said Naruto. You're evil, said Jiraiya. I know, said Naruto. Will you two stop that, said Vicky, as the both of them kept pausing and staring at each other. As Jiraiya looked towards Victoria, as Naruto sighed. I warned you, he said. A blood-curdling scream could be heard as it resonated through Konoha. After a moment or two, Naruto entered the house as Aizara was on the couch. What was that? A certain pervert didn't listen to what I had to say, so I did a little open-ear castration on him. As Aizara looked towards him. You're joking, right? Not really, said Naruto, as he threw something in the garbage. Oh, okay, she said. So, Asurabe, I heard that you got a job at Ichiraka Ramen. Yeah. Big sister Ayam is already getting me settled in. Already calling her big sister Ayam, Ori, said Naruto. What? She's really nice, and she always helped me when I need it. Relax, said Naruto. I'm just happy that you're making friends here. And she smiled. Thanks, she said. As Naruto heard the knock on the door as he made his way. As he was greeted by the two sound Jennings. Oh yeah, forgot about you guys, said Naruto. As the both of their sweat drops. Then again, I should really go and deal with the rest of the hidden sound. Alright, you see those two? They're in charge while I'm away, said Naruto. And you're supposed to do everything that they say. The both of them nodded, Naruto-sama. As Naruto told Victoria and Asura what he was about to do, as he burst into a column of bats. Meanwhile, Sasuke Uchiha was not happy. His teammate had crippled his sensei so he could not get training there. No, that really wouldn't bother him if it was not for one thing. No one else would train him. The last Uchiha, Sasuke Uchiha. They should be rolling over and begging to train him, but they refused to train him. So all he could really do right now was go to the training grounds and copy every jutsu that he saw. Meanwhile, unlike other hidden villages, the zone was not a fortified village. It was small, operating areas with different sections with small bases. Due to Orochimaru plans for Chunin exams, most of his important fighters were close to the base, and it took Naruto an hour to reach, as they were close to Konoha, so they could be there for the invasion. Activate emergency protocols. We've been found, a random scout shouted, as Naruto casually walked towards the base, hands in pockets. As all the seals activated and launched a wave of death and destruction. As bombs, explosive, kunai, shurikens, everything went off. But to their complete shock and horror, the blonde just kept on walking. After several more attempts of stopping the beam, he arrived as he ripped the front door open. The moment he arrived, he was surrounded. Hello, hidden sound. I'm here to give you some good news. Orochimaru has been terminated, and as of right now I am the master of all of those that Orochimaru marked with his special seal. Liar. A white-haired man with two red dots in his forehead, ripped his spine out of his back and swung it towards Naruto. His spine was a bony thing that attacked Naruto with sharp ends. As the man was not crippled after that, it was surprising. But Naruto then performed the same technique as he ripped his spine out of his back and attacked the man as well. Kimimaro, the last member of Kaguya clan. Pity, said Naruto. As Naruto raised a single hand sign, Kimimaro dropped to the ground as the seal on his chest started to burn, as it burned his very soul. As everyone in the room stepped away in fear. Only Orochimaru could do that. Don't worry, I'm not Orochimaru, I've merely inhaled his soul. He's a small part of me now, but that also means I have complete control of your marks. So everyone here that has that mark, well, I control you now. Now, everyone line up, said Naruto. These were all spineless cowards who followed Orochimaru, and they were afraid of his power, and they saw how quickly this blonde, this thing, survived all of those attacks out there. So they fell in line rather quickly, as there was a redhead there. You're to stay behind, the rest of you. Go back to the zone and inform everyone, said Naruto. As the rest of them quickly made their way off, leaving only Redhead. What the hell do you want me to do, huh? She said. Her tone was aggressive. You do realize, once you have Orochimaru seal, you're my slave, right? What does that matter? It's simple, really. I intend on using my slaves. As he vanished and grabbed the girl. Meanwhile, in a room, in the hidden rain, a masked individual was coughing, as he had several spasms. Are you certain that you're alright, Madara-sama? The white half of Zetsu said, as the man on the bed revealed his true weakness. I still don't understand why I haven't recovered, even after all this time, he said in pain. Are you kidding me? The injuries you got from the first should have killed you straight out, let alone healed, said the black half. As Madara coughed once more, yet they did not, he said. I was thinking, the white half said. About what? Well, you survive fatal injuries without medical attention. So has the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. However, I also noticed that the Kyuubi hosts consume blood. Have you ever done that? Once. After my battle with Hashirama, I managed to survive by drinking my own blood, said Madara. And that would be when you stop healing, right? What? Are you trying to say I should give in to my temptation and drink some blood? You've been tempted to drink blood? Ever since that day, Madara said. Well then, come on, at least try some. It's not like anything bad will happen. Fine then, I'll try it. But I'm not drinking anymore if this doesn't work. I understand why, Zetsu said, as he got the blood bag and handed it to the man. As Madara devoured it, as the man drained the entire bag, He was silent. Are you alright, Madara-san? Both of them asked. That was Hidan's blood, Madara said. Wait, how do you know that? I remember everything he did up until then. And my injuries, they're all gone. Meanwhile, ow, my head hurts, Hinata said as she woke up. She glanced up and activated her Byakugan. As she looked around trying to find an exit to where she was, but she did not see one. What she did see though was a large corridor that led straight down, and she decided to follow it. After a long session of walking, she came across something that was different. There was a massive door in front of her, with countless locks and bolts on it, sealed. As she was confused, she had nowhere else to go as she was able to break and remove the locks. Once she stepped inside, it was a place filled with countless items, books, weapons, large knives. There was a lot of books on the tables, but the books were filled with a foreign language that she could not read. That is until she finally found one she could read. The Gospel of Judas. As she raised her eyebrow, and what was this? Time skip. You're such a pretty slave, aren't you, Teiwei? A certain blonde said as he reformed his clothes after using his sleeve. Screw you. The redhead said as she lay on the ground. Now, we both know that you liked it. You just don't want to admit that you like being completely and utterly dominated, said Naruto. Go screw yourself. I could, but I prefer to screw others, said Naruto with a grin. Asshole, she said under her breath. What was that? You want me to use your what? I said go screw yourself. As Naruto laughed as he liked tormenting her, he formed a new set of clothes for her to wear. Get dressed, he said. As soon as she was dressed, he took her arm and took her to the base. Hey, where the hell are you taking me, you bastard? Home, of course. I can't use a slave if they're not in reaching distance. At all times. Wait, do you mean you're gonna take me back to your place? Just use me as some goddamn toy. All complaints will be filed away for future sections when I give a shit, said Naruto. Screw you bastard, she said under her breath. The truth was, what he said earlier was right. She enjoyed being completely dominated by the psycho, even though he annoyed her to no end. Now, Teiwei-chan, he said. Is that any way to talk to your master, especially when he can read your mind? As her eyes widened, he can what? So you understand now, said Naruto. You can't hide your thoughts on me. Time skip. Konoha Hospital. I have to admit, I'm surprised you're still alive, Jiraiya, said Hiruzen as he sat next to the man hospital bed. Screw you, sensei. That brat. Castrate me. You don't know what this pain feels like. And why did he do that in the first place? I was thinking about using him in a Kyuubi for my next book. Wait. Jiraiya, are you telling me that Naruto's having a sexual relationship with a Kyuubi? Yeah. I should have known, said Hiruzen. Don't sound too surprised, sensei. I'm not. Ever since it's changed, it's hard not to believe that you won't do something. That unpredictable, is he? Yeah. So, Jiraiya, how about you become the next Hokage? Hell no, said Jiraiya. Come on, Jiraiya, you could always use my orb for your research and not get any time to write because of your cursed paperwork? No thanks. Come on, if you don't, who will? Have you tried Snavi? Unfortunately, I don't know where to find her. I can look for you. In your condition, just give me a week to recover, and I'll be as good as new, just without a few parts. And you think you can find her before June exams come to an end? Of course, Jiraiya said. Fine then, but I'll be sending Naruto with you. Sensei, do you really think that is necessary? Yes, I want to retire as soon as June exams are over, even if you have to bring her back by force. Understood, Sensei. Meanwhile, Vicky-chan, I'm home, and I brought a new pet. Hey, who the hell are you calling a goddamn pet? Oh, sorry, I mean slave, said Naruto, further irritating Teiwei. Oh, where are you gonna put it? Said Vicky. As Teiwei was shocked how nonchalant this woman was being. I was thinking the basement, it isn't really being used for much right now. Well, I think you should redecorate down there first. It's too easy to escape right now, said Kyuubi. True, but then again her seal acts as a tracker and it would be pointless to run away from me. So, how are the other slaves doing, said Naruto. Well, Kin is gonna be easy to live with. She's hardworking and seems very sexually open. While those two is simply praying that you're not bi. As Naruto's eye twitched a bit. Before, he seemed to pick up on something. Well, look at that. It's time for some Jinchuriki hunting. As he left out the front door. What was that about, said Teiwei. Nothing you should be concerned about. Now get over here. I have jobs for you to do. Time skip. I see, in that case, assist Ho and Toru, monitoring the Akatsuki, said Danzo, as Naruto was once again taking the shape of Danzo as he received the information from the Root Ninja. who nodded and moved off. It appears like the San and both Kumo Jinchuriki will be attending the finals, while one of the stone Jinchuriki was living in a small cabin several miles away from the village. The other one was located in the village walls. Taki also had a Jinchurikis in their wall, but the village was protected to a lesser extent. And last but not least, Kiri, hosts, were fighting on the anti-Kekkei side of the civil war that was going on. That was very considerate, given the fact that Root was currently supporting the other side, soon after receiving the orders and giving out new ones, as Naruto burst into bats and made his way towards Taki. Well, that was surprisingly easy, said Naruto as he got in, as he wandered the streets looking for the 7-tailed vessel. His main problem now was how to find the Jinchuriki. He could simply gather information until he found out where she was, or he could start killing everyone until they handed her over. The only problem was he might go a bit overboard and kill her by mistake, and he didn't want that. Plan 8 was then, you know, I really hate having ambitions to fulfill. It makes things a lot harder, he thought to himself. By the end of the day, he was surprised that no one even realized that he was a potential enemy amongst their crowd. He was certain that someone would notice him, but lack of unruh trailing him, telling that he was overthinking things. This village was lacking on the security part. He had got her appearance. She had chocolate skin, light green hair, and orange eyes. As he noticed that he was being followed now, but only by a single person, so he did what he did best. As he went into a dark alley, he became intangible as he faded into the wall as the person entered behind him. Damn it, where the hell did he go? The person felt their arm twisting behind their back as their face was pushed up against a wall. So you're looking for me, Jinchuriki-chan, said Naruto. So, you know who I am. What are you after? That's simple, you're Biju, said Naruto. Her eyes widened at the implication. If you think I'll just stand here and let you kill me, you got nothing coming. As she started to pull on the Biju's chakra to get away, because its grip was really powerful and she could not move. But she felt a cold, odd sensation in her stomach. As she turned, her eyes went wide as she saw a spectral being floating by the person that held onto her. It had grey skin, white hair, a tonto in its mouth. It had 2 horns protruding from its head. As she was afraid, as she felt the cold creeping sensation of death. What is going on? Who was this guy? And what the hell was he doing? But guys, me and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also, guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was sent to a parallel multiverse, and enjoy that, guys. And remember, for anyone this is the first time to hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me for new, I'll be replying talking back to all of you. And yeah, guys, remember I have 3 channels, and Making and Making 2 and Making 3, which I post what fun every single day for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, you already know what to do. And remember to turn on that bell notification to see exactly when I post. But for now, I'm out of here. See you guys very soon. Peace.